I'm in the middle of Dartmoor National Park in southwestern England, looking for a mailbox in the middle of nowhere. Why? Well, if you haven't guessed by the torrential downpour and wind, fun. The answer is fun. Hi, I'm Dylan and you're watching Not Exactly Normal, and this is George from the Dartmoor podcast. He's my guide today as we set out into Dartmoor National Park to look for a post box. But let's back up. If you were online in the mid-aughts, you may have been caught up in the geocaching craze.
Tonight in our special report, let's go geocaching.
Geocaching. Geocaching. Geocaching.
Geocaching.
Geocaching, and it's growing in popularity.
Believe it or not, it's one of the fastest growing hobbies in the world.
What is that, you ask?
It's kind of like a high-tech treasure hunt.
It's a high-tech treasure hunting game played throughout the world.
It's a high-tech hunt, and in this week's Drew's To Do, I'm cashing in on the craze.
If you haven't cached before, basically people will leave little watertight containers with like little doodads or a logbook inside and then put the coordinates to them on the internet. And then other people will grab the coordinates and go out on a hike and see if they can find it.
We see them in movies, treasure hunters with navigators, compasses, or pirate ships. But what some people may not know is modern day hunters could be searching for hidden goods in their own backyards using the internet.
Geocaching is a fun way to get people outside and sort of gamify a hike, which is great for someone like me who's had video games break their brain over the years. Everything needs a little objective, and geocaching ticks that box. It's like Pokemon Go, but, you know, without the Pokemon. While geocaching is relatively new, the hobby that it's based on has a much richer history. It's this. It's a letterbox in the middle of a massive park that I never want to come back to. That's mean, I like it, it's nice. It's just really cold and windy and everything is wet and there's bogs everywhere and there's hidden bogs everywhere and it's all uphill, but it's also all downhill. And did I mention that everything's wet? Because everything is indeed wet. And I mean everything, ladies. Terrible, don't put that in the video. And that's what I'm doing today, letterboxing. It's basically geocaching before the internet.
Do you want to find some letterboxes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cheers. Clink. This is George. He runs a YouTube channel called the Dartmoor Podcast, which he'll be quick to tell you is not a podcast. And he's trying to collect 100 letterbox stamps this year. So in brief, what is letterboxing?
Secret boxes, which you have to find with compass coordinates, using landmarks and clues normally. In each one is a little personalised stamp. It's usually got something to do with the name of the place where the letterbox was sighted. And you find it, you collect the stamp from the box, and you have your own personal stamp. You stamp the logbook, leave a little message, and hide it back where you found it. Basically boxers, which is like the cool shorthand they have for themselves. I feel like half of the appeal of letterboxing is like cool shorthand and codes. This one's got like all sorts of abbreviations and things in. LHE of North OC of Oak Tor. So I think that means left-hand edge of the northern outcrop. But I digress. They'll leave a little watertight container with a logbook in it and a stamp in a remote location, usually in Dartmoor National Park, and then post clues to its location in that year's letterboxing catalog, or on letterboxing websites, or as George told me, in the letterboxing WhatsApp group, which they wouldn't let me into. I tried. I didn't try. They might let me in. This is the catalogue of Dartmoor letterboxes. So this comes out every year and it compiles all the letterboxes. They're all in there in alphabetical order. Then at the back, you've got what map square they're in. So you kind of choose your map square you're going to for that day, look up all the boxes in that one that sound promising. Unlike geocaching, you don't get the coordinates for a letterbox, and instead you have to rely on deduction and good old-fashioned orienteering to work out the clues to its location. Or in this one's case, you just have to go on Google Maps and then like hike 6 hours. Which I think is worse. Yeah, geocaching's sort of got the same idea, hasn't it? But it's a lot easier generally because you've got the GPS plonks you straight on top of it. Letterboxing is much harder. it's much more difficult. There are geocaches on Dartmoor as well, but the terrain of Dartmoor and the navigating makes it difficult. Having to use the compass to sort of triangulate your position to find it is so much trickier. And they're hidden better as well. A lot of letterboxes are so well hidden, and you know, it's why it's good to come out with actually more than one person, because it's easier to find. It's just scrabbling around on your own. That was evil. Even when it was like, we found it, it must be here. Still had to crawl around and stick my hands in spider-filled caverns and God knows what else.
What do you like about letterboxing?
To be honest, I think it's a sense of sort of gloating superiority over other people, that you know something they don't. You know, they're sort of walking past oblivious, and you just walk past a letterbox, a little secret cache of communications between nerds.
325-229, 325-229.
I think just getting you out onto new places on Dartmoor is really nice as well. I mean, I've been all over Dartmoor, but letterboxing still takes me to places I wouldn't normally go.
I didn't really want to spoil the location of any letterbox, so I decided to come here to Cranmere Pool, which is the original letterbox, which has a listing on Google Maps, so I feel like I'm really not giving anything away. George is telling me that there's basically no, deduction challenge in finding this letterbox. It's just an insanely brutal hike to get there, and it's sort of a pilgrimage for boxers, as they call themselves. While the Cranmere Pool letterbox is on Google Maps, the others aren't, and the clues you need to find them can be quite cryptic.
And it will be beside a vegetation-covered rock.
Oh, there's not too many of those.
Yeah, well. The clues, it's always hidden under a rock, and it's just a big field of rocks. That's what Dartmoor is.
And once you've figured out the clues, the boxes can still be very difficult to find.
But this one looks promising. If we can work out which range poles it's talking about, then in theory, we just need to walk towards that one until we're 78 paces away. Bad start. I can't find any of the range poles it's talking about.
Undeterred by the lack of range poles, George and I continued on the hunt for my first letterbox.
Hang on. Left-hand edge of north outcrop of Oak Tor, because 140 is like, what? So that doesn't make any sense. This one says, from the chimneyless hut on the south side of Oak Tor, go on 306 to a mini stack.
Oh, looks like a mini stack?
Yeah. From here, go on 345 for 50 paces to the box in a hole in a rock face. This is too easy to be true. This cannot be right. Okay, so it says box in hole in rock face, tucked in RHS.
What's an RHS?
Right hand side. This does look very promising, doesn't it? This is a rock face with holes in it. And this will be like, it'll be like, probably like a cylinder. Hey!
Found it?
We got one.
So we just found our first letterbox of the day. And by we, I mean George did. I did very little to help.
Oh no, I couldn't have done it without you, Dylan.
Once you've found the letterboxes, it's time to leave your mark. You're expected to come up with a cool nickname that's like a play on your name, but like with a letterboxing theme, which I totally forgot to do, so I've just been signing my own name.
Right, let's get some stamps. You stamp the book and you can write your thing in there, and I'll stamp my little thing first.
And then you have to bring a custom designed stamp to stamp the letterbox's logbook with. Then you get to stamp your logbook with the letterbox's stamp so that you can prove to all the rest of the letterboxes that you actually went there.
This is much more difficult in the rain.
What do I write? Like found by, just sign my name?
Just say, found, we're running now because it's about to rain.
And if you collect enough stamps, you get a 100 Club letterboxing patch to put on your jacket, which doesn't seem worth it.
I'm pretty pleased with that one because this series, they're really good. Very sort of collectible, if you know what I mean.
I saw on Google Maps, there's a photo of someone here, and on their backpack, they had a 1000 Club patch, and that gave me an anxiety attack. True story. My first letterbox. I can finally get a patch to join the One Letterbox Club. I couldn't find anyone to custom design a stamp for me, so instead I found one with a picture of an old man in a top hat making a pour over coffee, and that felt pretty apropos. So I'm going with that.
Yeah, and to give you the full experience, we're in the rain as well now.
Perfect.
Dartmoor is known for just raining all the time.
So I just found my first letterbox and now it's pouring rain. So we're gonna go try to find somewhere to hide. Letterboxing originated in 1854 when a man named James Parrott placed a glass bottle in a remote area in Dartmoor National Park called Cranmere Pool. Then visitors to the pool would place a postcard in the bottle and subsequent visitors would retrieve the postcard and mail it back to them, hence the name letterboxing. James's glass bottle was replaced around 50 years later with an actual brick and mortar letterbox. Though this is not the norm for letterboxing. Usually they're just little watertight plastic containers, which is helpful because of all the rain, which, if you hadn't noticed, it is raining a little bit. James was a tour guide in Dartmoor, and he brought out rich Victorian men and women on tours of the park, and he planted the first letterbox as a way to drum up interest in his business. Why he didn't pick a more accessible area to put it, I'll never know. I am so... The Cranmere Pool letterbox is in a bit of a difficult to find place in the park. It's in a little valley or dip, so you can't really see it from the surrounding area.
However, we caught a bit of luck. Earlier this year, Cranmere Pool flooded, and in order to protect the contents of the letterbox, boxers installed this temporary letterbox a bit further up the hill past the flood line, meaning that we could see the box from further away.
And so if you're out hiking looking for Cranmere Pool, it can be quite difficult to find unless you have GPS, which the Victorians most certainly did not. And so James was one of the only people that could supposedly find it, hence the appeal of his tour. Why you would want to hike 6 hours into the rain, wind, and bog is beyond me. But I did it, so I guess it must have been appealing.
My favourite is definitely not Cranmere Pool. It's just so horrible to get to. You're going to find out, but the last mile when we go off the path is just, yeah, it's horrific. Yeah, I always call this part Mordor because it's just barren, it's windy, it's bleak, it's boggy.
Wet shoes!
We've been lucky so far, but when the rain comes in, it really comes in.
The rain's back.
Really thick mist that you can't see, you know, in front of your face. It's hostile.
I think, well, I'm going to eat my words, but I'm going to say I prefer bog to uphill.
Yeah, you are going to eat those words.
Cut to me in the bog.
Yeah, it's going to be honestly really unpleasant. But you want to go to Cranmere Pool, or you want to go to Cranmere Pool?
Finally stopped raining, and now we gotta go fight off some cows. Hello, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. Thank you. This is a big hike. The rain's back. It was sunny for all of a minute, and now it's raining. I just put away my hand. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the letterbox. We gotta go up that hill over there. It's miserable out. Having to go up this big hill to go up there. That's how hills work. You gotta go up them. And then later we gotta do this whole thing in reverse. It's pretty shut out.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, the only reasonable way to get to Cranmere Pool is by passing an active military firing range. So you have to check the firing schedule before going.
So we just spotted Cranmere Pool letterbox. Probably can't see it behind me, but it's right over there. Oh. Finally here, this is the Cranmere Pool letterbox in Dartmoor National Park. It took us all day to get here. It's like 3:30 and we left at 9. It's single-handedly the most brutal hike that I've ever been on. And before it starts raining again, I just want to open it up and put my stamp on. Ooh, there's a little candy in there. Sounds probably good. Ooh, Cranmere Pool visitors. Money, stamps, my little letterbox book right here, my one stamp in it. This goes back to September 2021. Oh my God, it's almost full. This many people came here since 2021? Yeah. My second letterbox ever and the most beautiful and brutal hike I've ever done. Signed, me. With my stamp. All right, you want it? Okay, we're leaving the letterbox back to civilization. Hopefully it goes a bit quicker and we don't get rained on as much, but it's not looking great. I almost died. We made it back. Yeah. I really didn't think that we would. Oh, benches are so nice. After a very long and tiring day, I parted ways with George before setting out on the rest of the journey by myself. Morning, so it's day 2 out on Dartmoor. My hike is not going to be as extreme today. I'm just going right up there. So, should be fun. It is absolutely pouring. Holy shit. I thought it might get better as we got towards the top, but it has definitely gotten worse. It's pretty awful. Spooky as hell. Letterboxing peaked in interest around the 90s after a series of popular books in the 80s made it more accessible and spread to the masses. But sadly, today it's a bit of a hobby in decline. So if you're looking for a good reason to get off your phone and out into the horrible, horrible wilderness, letterboxing may be for you. There is nowhere to take shelter. There's some rocks over here, which is kind of sheltering the camera. It's covered in a plastic bag and I'm probably gonna wreck it. So my bag is getting drenched. There's sheep shit everywhere. I'm covered in it. I am absolutely soaked, so I might move. There's a bigger tour up this way and I think that might be a bit better. What a terrible day. My boots are soaked through, my jeans are soaked through, everything I'm wearing is soaked through. Holy shit. Oh, this is a bit better. While most letterboxing occurs here in Dartmoor, there are a few letterboxes outside of the park. There's a couple in a few different pubs, as well as one in a dude's backpack. So if you want to collect that stamp, you have to track them down, like the postman in Ocarina of Time. Letterboxing has sprung up in countries around the world as well. Back in Canada, we have a very small letterboxing community, and I was able to find a few websites offering clues to find Canada's greatest letterboxes, including one in the Spy Camp out on Ajax. Pretty cool hike, and a bit nicer weather-wise than this. I had a great time out on Dartmoor with George looking for the oldest letterbox in the world. I got completely drenched, I came close to getting hypothermia, not really, but maybe, and I'm absolutely exhausted after an 8-hour hike. But there was a certain magic to finding a centuries-old letterbox filled with letters from all the other visitors who were crazy enough to make the hike. And at the end of the day, I got a sweet stamp out of it. Worth it. So what should I talk about next? Please let me know in the comments, and if you like this sort of thing, please consider subscribing for new episodes of Not Exactly Normal around once a month. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and enjoying this horribly rainy day in Dartmoor National Park. Thanks for watching. Also, if you want to check out George's YouTube channel, go to youtube.com/The Dartmoor Podcast. Is that the link?
Yeah, it's not a podcast.
What's the full? It's not a podcast. Just go to youtube.com/Dartmoor Podcast, and he has like a ton of awesome videos about one of the craziest parks. I think it's hailing. This is wild. All right, well, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Yeah. Dylan from the future here. I think the rain in Dartmoor just totally messed with my brain because I forgot to tell you that I do have a Patreon you can check out. So if you want to help me make these bigger episodes where I like go to Dartmoor and get obsessed by an old-timey hobby, please do check it out. Your support on Patreon means I can continue working on this channel full-time. Also, I did want to tell you one thing I forgot to mention in the video because I didn't realize until after I finished filming was that I had forgotten that my passport was in my backpack on that last day of filming, and it got absolutely destroyed. So I had to run to London and get a replacement before going off to my next shoot location. You can probably see it here, just getting absolutely destroyed in my backpack. My boots are filled with water. My pants are filled with water. My camera's filled with water. My lens cloth is filled with water. Everything's filled with water. How is there no stream?